Well, good morning, Cork Warriors. This is Didier from Cork Wars here in Napa Valley, and well, I'm still waiting for James, the sommelier, one buyer of Mustard Grill here in Young. So far, no show. So we're gonna, carry on and talk about Cork Wars a little bit. We are definitely most halfway of the year, and we have about like four, I think, a restaurant to come for sommeliers. So pretty interesting. Next month is going to be Bottega. First of all, I would like to thank our sponsors, Bardesono Hotel, where the winner of the Cork Wars will be staying for 2 nights next year. I'd like to also thank Riedel for providing us with some great stemwares. Oh, and I think here is James came up, so we're gonna keep going. Come on in, buddy. Do you find it easy?
Yeah.
All right. Sit down. Welcome. I tell you, you need to move your chair a little bit closer to me. Right, closer. Don't be shy. All right. So fantastic. I thought I may have to do the show by myself. James, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, fantastic. So let's open some wine here. And while I'm doing that, tell me a little bit about you. I think you're from Oakland.
I am.
Right.
I grew up in Oakland, and I've been working in the restaurant business since I was 12.
Uh-huh.
And I've been at Mustard's Grill now for about 2.5 years.
2.5 years, okay.
Yeah.
And I understand that your first love really was in music, and
Yeah.
you went to Boston, and
Yeah, I really wanted to pursue a career in jazz and spend most of my life playing music. And eventually just kind of led more and more into doing wine stuff. And now my passion's really more in wine.
is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so no more music, or we're
Oh,
still
no,
playing
I
a little
still
bit?
play jazz all the time. I play jazz and blues.
What kind of instrument are you playing?
Strings. I play upright bass and electric guitar.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you belong to a group?
I play with the same group of guys every Sunday night.
Oh, is that right? And those people are in the wine business as well, or?
A few of them are in the wine business. A lot of them are in the restaurant business. A lot of them are musicians for a living now.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So let's talk about, Mustard, your position at your duties, so to speak, over at Mustard, and what is a sommelier one buyer for Mustard? What do you do exactly?
I purchase all the wines. I work on the floor all week long and kind of provide advice for people that are around that want advice about wines, and just kind of provide a voice for mustards when we're doing the purchasing.
Yeah, and when you provide that, do you think people are shy to approach you?
I think when they walk into Mustards, they understand what a busy restaurant it is, and a lot of people, in terms of selling wines, they're afraid to come in just because they don't know who does the purchasing, and we are so busy that it's hard to get in the door.
Yeah.
But once they get in the door, I just hope that they all feel comfortable and that they're made to feel comfortable.
Let's talk a little bit about the wine list and the wine by the glass program that you guys have. Let's talk about the wine list in general. What is the composition of the wine list? This is mainly Californian. This is French. What is it?
I'm supposed to keep the wine list as local as possible. I definitely like lots of different wines and have kind of a palate that strays to a lot of French stuff, and have gotten away with putting a lot of world wines on the list. But it is mainly driven through Napa wines and Sonoma wines and local stuff. But as much as I can explore and pull in fun champagnes and different stuff from Spain or France, I will.
Yeah. What about the wine by the glass program? Is there like any science beyond that for you guys?
Well, there's definitely a price point, science as always, but we've had a lot of the same kind of neighbors that we've taken care of for years and tried to support and keep a community of our local growers well showed off, I guess. All the time.
There is some politics involved into that.
There's definitely politics. Yeah,
yes?
There's lots of politics. Yeah, I mean we've had a lot of people that have supported Cindy in the restaurant since she got there 30 years ago, and we definitely try and take care of those people.
Yeah. So for instance, for a new wine drinker, but what kind of tips do you have for those people?
Well,
Similar than what you studied it, or is that something? Is there a blueprint?
I definitely think for people that are coming in and that are asking about wines or want a little advice, I try and find out what they're eating first, and then I definitely focus on the fact that wine isn't necessarily what's traditionally paired with anything. It is you don't have to go straight in for Cabernet and beef. You don't have to have Chardonnay and a salmon.
Yeah.
You can I think a pairing is really simply just a wine and a dish that works for somebody.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for everybody a certain way, and I think anybody that's really good at doing the whole wine thing will see that first and try and put a wine in front of somebody they're going to enjoy, not necessarily something that's classic or something that we would assume is right for them.
Yeah. Do you see in Napa Valley some new trend as far as wine varietals coming up?
Well, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't work with a ton of Cabernet up in my neck of the woods. Trends, I think that people are scaling their wines down a little bit. I think that there's not as much a focus on building these massively reduced kind of just really, really huge Cabernets, whereas people are searching for balance a little bit more, which has always been kind of a struggle with. I feel like in the last few years, Cabernets have gotten thicker and thicker and more viscous and richer and richer and richer, and they're starting to show less of really kind of what everybody talks about wanting to put forward when they're making a wine. It's just an example of the land and the vintage.
Yeah.
So I think that hopefully people are moving away from that. I think Chardonnay is becoming a little leaner.
Yeah.
I think the oak bomb world is drifting into the past and will be left for people that are into that kind of thing. But those are the trends I see a lot. And my world is so Cabernet and Chardonnay dominant up there, just because that's what everyone's growing.
Yeah, but you live in Sonoma, right?
I do.
And so you commute every day, and in Sonoma, Sonoma is more like Pinot Noir and a little bit cooler varietals and things like that, right?
We definitely focus on a lot more Pinot and Sauv Blanc and the things that Sonoma's strong in.
Yeah. So how big is the restaurant?
Our restaurant's 50 seats.
That's it.
50 seats. It's a tiny, tiny little place.
Yeah, no. If you guys going to Mercer at 11:30, there is already a line at the door, and you guys are packed. How many turns you do a day? For lunch.
This time of year, when we're really, really hustling, we'll see 550 to 600 people in a day. And it's it's a lot of running around.
And so you start serving at 11
o'clock, and we usually, on the weekend nights, we'll shut it down around 10 o'clock, and it just is crazy all the way through.
Wow. So you are definitely working with people in the industry and the geeks and so on and so forth. What is the funniest one description that you ever heard?
Oh, man. That's rough.
Or something that really,
well, we get a lot of amateurs, that are just really out there kind of exploring wine and tasting for the day. So you get a lot of the real blatant kind of, I get a lot of berry in this wine. There's definitely a lot of tannins, in white wines. You get that kind of stuff all the time, and you just smile and agree, and realize that everyone's in their own kind of journey into trying to figure this out. We might just be lucky enough to be a little bit further ahead of them in terms of knowing what we like.
Okay, so what is the so people usually are not that knowledgeable. They're like novice and that kind of thing. And do you think there is cocktails too coming back? Do you think do you see people drinking more cocktails before or not?
In the world of cocktails down at Mustard's, there's definitely a good crew. People will start their dinners off with cocktails, but we're not I think we're definitely kind of more of a wine house. We do a lot of pairings. We do a lot of menu-focused pairings. And though we do have some good cocktails, I think that we're still selling a lot more wine.
All right, so guys, Mercer Grill submitted 2 dishes for you guys to make. And the first one was a salad of calamari. And you decided to go ahead and pair with Schlutz 2012 Dragon Vineyard. And this is an Albarino. So what was the reason behind that?
there's a real nice kind of crisp, salty kind of nature to the calamari that we serve with a nice kind of curry slaw. So that's got a ton of acid. It definitely brightens up the dish, gives you plenty of acid to complement the saltiness, and it just kind of is a nice blender. And the Schultz family, they're just good people. You know, they're the kind of people you want to support. It's a two-person family operation, and you know, it's small, it's not huge, and you're taking care of the little people.
Yeah, I'm really not familiar of this winery, and I see in the back on there from Napa. Do they have a facility or?
They purchased a lot of the fruit, and I think they've done a lot of custom crushing. They both have a long history of working in a bunch of different kind of old venerable wineries in Napa, and finally got enough money to make their own wine. And they have this, and right now we're also pulling a Schultz Zinn, which is all mountain Zinn, which is also really nice.
That's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then the second dish that was proposed was the hanger steak, and which is fantastic, by the way. And with that, you went back with the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Cabernet family, and you suggested to try this with the Langen Reed, 2012 from the North Coast. So, I really enjoyed the owners, and tell us a little bit more about them and why you picked this one here.
Well, it was definitely a nod to the Scuffneys, who are really old friends of Cindy's. They've always been big supporters, and we poured it by the glass for a long time. It's kind of one of those things that's been set in stone around mustards. And Cab Franc, I always think of as being kind of one of the more feminine of the Bordeaux varietals. It's definitely got more of a nose and a little more perfume to a little more delicacy, you know. So I thought it paired real well with the onions, because the onions gave you a little sweetness in the dish and rounded out everything. It's definitely got enough backbone to support the steak.
Yeah. So again, Mustard is like a very, very cool restaurant that was established in the early '80s, I believe, right?
We're officially 30 years old as of this year. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we had our party and definitely brought it in right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And yet I was reading your little history, your little story into. Which is available for you to read on corkwars.com. And you're talking about something that happened while Jim Lobby was visiting.
Yeah. We had Lobby in, and I was pretty nervous. I'd never met him, and honestly, he's a very, very laid-back guy. He was definitely not into sitting around and worrying about what the sommelier had to say. He had plenty to talk about on his own. Yeah. But, I opened a bottle for him and cut my thumb really, really bad. And he just smiled. He was having a good time and enjoying the wine anyway. He wasn't bothered. But, walked. That's the way Mustards is you'll walk away from Lobby and you'll walk to another table and you'll have the owners of another winery. So you just kind of have to learn how to rebound, throw some tape on the thumb and make it keep going.
Keep your smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I really like with Mustard is you definitely have tourism coming up, but also you can at any time sit down and even at the bar, for instance, and mingle with locals and celebrities. Okay, James Lobby, for instance, but another guy, Elias Fernandez, goes over there very often.
He's a good guy.
Sean Larkin, step down, and a lot of people, Rick Corson, a lot of great people, and it's really pretty fun. So, I mean, definitely a place to go if you really want to meet some locals and character. So, what else do we need to know about the job of sommelier? What is
my job like? It's it's a lot of back work. It's a lot of the quite literally moving wine. We go through a stack of wine that's about 8 feet tall once a week.
Oh, is that right?
So it's glamorous in the way that I get to see lots of beautiful wines. Yeah. I got to meet lots of great winemakers and great people in this neighborhood, but it's a lot of back work.
So, and I guess for the wineries, that would like to have the wine on the list or even serve by the glass, one thing to do is to go and support Mustard. So you scratch the back, they're going to scratch yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we definitely take care of our neighbors, but I'm all for everybody that makes a wine getting their chance. I think that if we just supported the people that are already huge in Napa Valley, we'd be failing our customers because we wouldn't bring in anything interesting and new and small. And that's kind of my goal with the wine list. It's just to keep giving everybody their chance as long as their wine's good enough. Yeah. And just see as much wine as we can and show our staff and our customers as much as we can in the way of new stuff.
What is a big no-no for Mustard?
A big no-no for mustards. Well, being too drunk when you already arrive, because there's plenty of good stuff to drink. Big no-nos for mustards. well, you got to just come with an appetite. There's a lot of food to eat, and there's a lot of things to try. I definitely think you come with an open mind because.
About corkage and let's say like I'm coming from and I bring like 6 bottles of wine for a group of 8. Is that a no?
No problem.
No problem.
No problem.
No problem.
No, you're going to feel comfortable no matter what you bring in, no matter what you're drinking. We're going to make you as comfortable as possible.
What is the corkage fee?
$15. But for every bottle you buy from us, we take one off the corkage fee. So if you brought a bottle in and bought one bottle, you'd have no corkage.
That's really reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty competitive.
Yeah. Awesome. Being in the wine industry in that side, any thoughts for you to maybe make your own wine?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream. I have a buddy this year. We've talked about having a project. We're not sure whether it's going to work out, but, I think for anybody that's ever gotten out there and worked in the vineyard or made wine or been able to have that opportunity, it kind of gets in your blood and you'll forever want to do it. If you have the opportunity, you'll want to take it and try and do it. And so any chance I get, I definitely jump at pulling some work, doing harvest stuff and trying to just keep myself out there. That way I understand the vineyards and I understand the principles of what I'm drinking.
Fantastic. Well, I guess that's about it. James, thank you for making it up.
Thank you, Didier.
And again, I want to thank our sponsors. I would like to thank, that the winner of a Cork Wars will be staying at the Bar de Sono Hotel in Yonville for 2 nights. On top of that, I will give them a $500 gift certificate to go to the favorite restaurant in Napa Valley. It might be mustard. It might be, I don't know, it might be, we have Bottega coming up after that. We have La Toc, we have Coles, we have Restaurant Lulu, we had Morimoto. I mean, some incredible restaurants. So, and I'd like to thank also Riedel for providing us with the stemwares. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Open www.mustardgrill.com.
Absolutely.
And open 7 days a week. First service is at 11 a.m.
Absolutely.
All right.
Call and make reservations.
Okay. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Great wines. Hey, John, not bad for an American, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Thank you. Cheers.